Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Wednesday, October the 2nd, where we're going to close out the card at Belmont Park. Race number 8, 7 furlongs on the Widener Turf. Starter allowance, $50,000, the starter allowance condition. Before we get to the analysis, remember that DRF Clocker reports available throughout the Belmont Fall Championship meeting, a perfect complement to your DRF past performances. Learn more at drf.com/clocker. Here's the field for Wednesday's race of the day. You can download free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them and handicap along with us. We'll talk about this field in post-position order after we look at the pace picture. And from a pace standpoint, Mike, you've got a couple of horses here that are interested in the lead. Timeform US believes that the 6 Teletype will be the one to make the front. Perhaps the 3 Take Charge Tina. Now, we know Take Charge Tina has some speed, and Augusta Moon's probably just going to fall into a good trip from the rail.
Yeah, she's got enough speed, but doesn't need the lead. Augusta Moon. I even think Kyoto, the 8, is going to be forward in this race. I know they have her pretty far back on the pace projector, but I don't think she's a horse who wants to run like that.
Well, let's talk about Augusta Moon, who ran so well first time off the Michael Maker claim. I mean, she was in the same race with the number 9, the 8 in this race, Kyoto, and they turned for home. They were on the lead throughout, and Augusta Moon's on the inside, Kyoto's on the outside. Augusta Moon's just going to flick Kyoto away. It's kind of a bad beat if you're an Augusta Moon fan because she did all of the work. She's going to put the favorite away, and she'll just get run down late. After watching this race, it's hard for me to imagine Kyoto turning the tables.
Yeah, it is, unless they just get more aggressive with Kyoto. It'll be interesting to see what happens, Dan, because I'm one of the people who liked Augusta Moon in that race, and I did think she ran well. It's interesting because if you just look at the running line, it sort of looks like she controlled the pace, but in reality, Kyoto took a couple of different runs at her, and she just kept turning that horse away. I thought that she ran really well. I liked her maiden win 2 starts back as well. I know that was a maiden 40, but she sat a nice trip off the pace and she won very easily. I just think she's a much better turf horse.
And I think that's the kind of ride she's going to get, the kind of trip that she got 2 starts back where she was able to sit and finish. As Timeform US indicates, there is speed for her to attack, and I think she's all upside at this point in her career. The 2 is Proportionality, main track only. We hope she does not participate. We'll move on to the 3, Take Charge Tina. Timeform US has this one close to the pace. I completely understand that, but 2 starts back, she came from out of it and finished ahead of 3 of these rivals. Let's take a look at that race right now. Take Charge Tina is last on the rail. She is in the white silk. She is the number 4, and she's going to have to pick her way through a little bit of traffic. This is a pretty good effort, especially since there wasn't a lot of pace for her to run at.
Yeah, this is a very slow pace for a 6 furlong turf sprint. For her to have to make up ground the way that she did, I thought she ran well. Teletype is also in this race. Teletype got a very good trip in here. Up close towards the inside. It just wasn't good enough. Take Charge Tina's run twice on turf. I think she's run well in both of those races. At the price she's on the morning line, she's a horse you could use.
Number 4 is Tipple, who came from way out of it to win at Saratoga 2 starts back. Then was close to the pace most recently, faltered, beaten 2 lengths. I think she's got to improve a little bit to beat this field, but I do think the right way to ride her is the way they rode her 2 starts back. Take her back, make 1 run.
Yeah, me too. I feel like she's a closing sprinter on the turf. And I actually even feel like 7 furlongs might be pushing it a little bit for her. I think she wants to go shorter.
Jason Service, very dangerous off the claim. This will be the first start for Service for the number 5, O'Malley, who won at a mile last time out at Saratoga. Now will be cutting back slightly in distance. Let's go to that race at Saratoga. The win for O'Malley. And I thought O'Malley ran pretty well in this spot, Mike. Yellow cap down towards the inside. The number 10 waiting for a seam to open up, and she's going to come with her run.
Yeah, I thought she ran well too, Dan. This was not a very strong field. And overall, she got a really good trip. It just took her a long time to get fully clear. Once she did get room to run, she won this race actually pretty easily. And I think she's another horse who could take a step forward in this race.
Let's talk a little bit about Teletype. You mentioned the good trip she had in that last race with Take Charge Tina, and I agree. She broke from the inside. She saved ground in the pocket. The rail opened up in mid-stretch. She shot on through, and she just kind of finished with a little bit of an even 1-paced run. I think there's a little bit of improvement here for her. It all depends on price. I have a feeling she's still going to get bet because she always seems to get bet.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll say the positives for her are, maybe that she's improved a little bit since Rudy claimed her. I do think she's run maybe her best 2 races in her last 2 starts, but I think she's got to improve again. And I'm not so sure that more distance actually helps her.
The 7 Cape Cod Diva found her spot last time out. They dropped her in for a maiden $40,000 tag. She was odds on. She made the odds on look good as they swing into the stretch. Nice trip tracking on the outside. She is in the green silk. She's going to ease to the 4-path, and she'll be under hands and heels encouragement right until she gets past this number 8 horse on the lead, and then the jock will ask for a run and she will spurt away. She beat a couple of next out winners. The 3rd place finisher came back to win with a 67 buyer. Overall, not a strong field, and this one has to improve from a buyer standpoint, but I don't see why she can't. And if you don't really love the horses in this race, the established starter allowance horses, maybe you could land on this one at a price.
Yeah, if she's around 10 to 1, I won't argue. That was a great spot for her last time. Not a good field. They actually went, for that level of horse, they actually went a pretty fast pace in front of her. I just thought she got a great trip and ride, and she was best that day. I do think she has to improve to beat this field.
Is the turn back the key for Kyoto? She's been the beaten favorite in her last 2 races. We saw that she got on terms with August Moon and just couldn't get by her in the lane last time. She wasn't very good first time off the claim, battling on the lead. I wonder if the turn back is good. I like her when she's aggressively ridden, but I think she's going to have to work to make the front here.
Yeah, I do too. It'll be interesting to see how they decide to ride her, because I do think they want to be forward. I actually like the distance for her. I think actually 7 furlongs could be a great distance for her. It'll all come down to price. Then I'm not a huge fan of hers. Her last 2 wins on turf both came in races where she got absolutely loose on rated paces. And other than that, I don't know, she's found it pretty tough to find the winner's circuit. I don't think she ran poorly last time, but it also wasn't an effort that made me necessarily want to bet her back at a short price.
3rd start since a spring freshening for the number 9, Overheated. This horse has raced twice previously on the turf, has beaten a total of 2 horses, obviously has to do more at a big number.
Yeah, I mean, her turf races so far just aren't very good. I respect her trainer a lot, but I don't like this horse's turf races yet.
The 10, Dancing with Daffodils, is sort of a bridesmaid. 13 2nd and 3rd place finishes from 23 lifetime starts, including her most recent race at Belmont on September the 18th. We're going to take a look at that race right now. Dancing with Daffodils is the gray. She is 2nd from the left. She's going to squeeze out, and now she's going to come with a good, determined, solid run, and this is her. She runs this kind of race, but she usually finds 1 or 2 better every time.
Yeah, I agree with that. She actually ran well in this race. She had way too much ground to make up once she got clear at the top of the stretch, but she kept coming on at the end. I liked this performance. I do much prefer her sprinting on the turf, anywhere between 5.5 and 7 furlongs. Maybe she's a price in this race. I can see her getting a piece of this.
The 11 and 13 are main track only, so we are left with the 12, Questec. Only 3 for 41 lifetime in her career. First time for Gregory DePrima. Last time out, distance too far, company probably too tough, pace too fast. Gonna cut back, but she had her shot, I thought, 2 starts back, and it wasn't the greatest trip in the world, but she sort of found herself in the low 60s from a buyer standpoint. That's just not going to get it done here.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, she's run a couple of figures in the past that are better than that and that would actually give her a chance in here, but she's very inconsistent, not a winning type either.
Let's take a look at our top selections for our Wednesday race of the day. I'm only interested in 2 horses, your top pick and mine. The 1, Augusta Moon, the 7, Cape Cod Diva. Those are the 2 I use in multiple race wagers. Cape Cod Diva will be a slightly better, well, she'll be a bigger price, certainly, than Augusta Moon. I went 7-1-8-6. You like Augusta Moon?
Yeah, I just think she could fall into the right trip here. I like her last 2 races quite a bit. I just think it's a really good spot that makers found for her here. I took her. I went 1-5-8.
Race 8 at Belmont, your DRFBets Wednesday race of the day has an approximate post of 5:11 Eastern. Good luck.